good. Fuck out of my face.
Ring, 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 hello simps and also virgins. And welcome back to Krown's magical laser eyes game.
What is that? Some bees? Are those some cyber hornets coming in right now? Is Michael Saylor coming into this whole mix? Anyways, welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. It's a laser eyes day today, and we're going to be talking about higher term time frame to start this one off. And let me just make sure that I'm actually, yes, my microphone is working. This is good. Apologies for the sound issues earlier. I done goofed for the last time, but I would like to wish you the best and the haps before we get into this one right now, because I suspect that this one's going to be a little bit more of an interesting one today, as we have all sorts of new things to be speaking about as it is November. And by the way, hey, happy November 1st, or if you're still in the Western Hemisphere, welcome from the fucking future, baby. Anyways, I'm going to turn off the alerts for right now. I do see that there's a few chats. We'll definitely get to that after we get over the early morning rituals. And with that said, let's get started with the Krown application over here, which we found at app.krown.net. And what do we see? We see that Bitcoin dominance bouncing a little bit, as if this is going to be the continuation, November should be the month of new highs for Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is going to lead this party, I'm looking for altcoins to get boo caked versus their goddamn Bitcoin parents. Now, with that in mind, of course, that does not mean that I'm going to be bearish on altcoin US dollar parents. Obviously, they're going to follow whatever Bitcoin does, and I am, more or less long-term bias towards the upside here, with short-term, a little bit of ebbs and flows as we do kind of test down to that $6,000 territory that we spoke about from yesterday. Now, I do want to say, holy fucking moly, massive thank you for all the likes on this video. Apparently, we have hit new all-time highs yet again. 100 likes before the video even started, and then 200 before the intro even ended. That is insane, man. So massive thank you for that, and welcome to all new people here as well. Please understand that if you are coming here from other channels, or just you found this place somehow, some way, well, take off your pants, baby. It's time to go in dry. Only leaving the nuts hang out. More importantly, I should warn you that we, of course, have a little bit of fun here. It is never done to offend anyone or with malintentions, but, we might use some more colorful language, we'll say. All right. Also, no means yes, says Elsa. I did not agree to that one, by the way. That's very concerning. Anyways, Fear and Greed Index also just kind of staying within that low 70 reads right now, which again is overall, in my opinion, good. I mean, we expect this to really get up into like the 90 plus region before we do start to really look for, major macro highs. For right now, the market is, of course, greedy. Yes, it's optimistic, of course, but it's not like super exuberant. So I do look at that as a more or less good thing, again, for the long term, not necessarily relevant to like the hourly right now, for example. On top of that, top 10 best coins out of the last 24 hours, we do see Loopring. Holy fuck, man. I haven't seen Loopring since 2017, 2018. In fact, someone asked about it last week, and that was the first time that I've heard about it in years. Hollow, Thorchain, Qtum, XCC Network, Secret, which is that's a new one. Solana, hey, Solana's back on the list, and Shiba, oh dear lord. Anyways, into the market data tab we go. A lot of very interesting things here today. Of course, I should remind you that you can get all this data for free in the link in the description below. It's literally for the cost of zero. And there's a lot of very, very important things to say here in a more somber, insincere tone. Okay, so the global leverage ratio is pretty much at all-time highs right now. We are at 0.19%, and that is pretty much consistent with just about the highs that we've ever seen ever. Now, this is a more nuanced interpretation of it, because remember, just with the leverage being high doesn't necessarily mean that, we're going to immediately have a massive downside move. In fact, we've seen, of course, with high leverage ratios, some phenomenal bear traps, actually, namely like we saw back in late July, right on over here on the pump from about $29,000 all the way to $53,000 with the short-term pause over there. And then, of course, before that was actually almost 1 year ago, as Bitcoin was consolidating around its prior all-time high. Sounds very familiar, right? Consolidating right below that $20,000 prior all-time high in 2020, November. And what happens after that? Leverage ratio starts to clean off, and Bitcoin just lifts off all the way from basically 20,000 to $60,000. Now, of course, what does that imply within the context of this sort of look over here? That would imply that there was a lot of people leveraged short coming into that, essentially shorting the double top, right? Now, in my experience, double tops are great for scalping, just like double bottoms, but I almost never, very rarely, I think it's less than 10 times over the course of history, I've actually seen double bottoms or double tops hold up on the macro scale. So With that said, do we have a similar setup going on over here where potentially we do have a lot of more aggressive and perhaps the over leveraged side is actually on the short side? Well, I do think that that is relevant to consider, mostly because the funny rate over here is not anything consequential. It's at 0.0182%, which realistically I need to see that get more than 5x that current number in order for me to be really looking for, major tops. And I want to see it there consistently as well. I mean, for example, you saw this back on over pretty much around our all-time high of the prior, or actually of this year, priorly to this more recent one, where Bitcoin was posting major funny rates for 3 to 5 days at a time and putting in major tops around those regions. Now, also on top of that, not to use a bad alliteration right there, but we can go reference the actual flow analysis going on over here, the old flowway, if you will, and we can see that the perps, which are leveraged positions, obviously are and have been consistently over the past week and a half, ever since I got back from Dubai, more on the net short side. Now, that is a bad way of explaining it because it's not true. The right way to be explaining that is the sense that, or what is it showing you? I mean, CVD, right? So there's more market shorts than market longs in comparison. Obviously, it's a one-to-one contract scenario. It's just the shorts are being more aggressive. So it's the shorts are being more aggressive, and we really haven't seen any structure broken on any time frame that actually matters for Bitcoin right now. Just short-term time frames, playing out some downside. It does imply that if Bitcoin does really start to work its way back up above $64,000, or technically a little bit lower than there, then we will very likely see a short squeeze rather than a long squeeze coming into this next month and a half of price action here. So with that in mind, I do want to mash this up with the technicals now. We'll go into the lower term timeframes over here, of which we were following this chart over the weekend, played at the top side of this resistance at about 62.2, rejection right there, of course, and that was essentially our range. Then we also had an area right here which actually took away at 61,100. We said that, hey, if Bitcoin breaks this, even on an hourly at that point, preferably a 4-hour, of course, then I would be looking for a move all the way down to about $60,000 low, of which we've gotten thus far. In fact, a little bit of a wick lower than that, it looks like, right before I woke up. By the way, we had over here in Finland daylight savings time. So if you're wondering why the timing of this stream is like a little bit earlier if you're in the Western Hemisphere, that's why. I don't know why we have these stupid things anymore. Like, just keep it consistent the whole way through. But, well, whatever. Anyways, I pretty much have the same interpretation of this today as well, meaning that as long as Bitcoin's above $60,000, I do look at this as more or less fine. Now, does this look like the picture of health and fitness right here in the short-term timeframes? Fuck no, it does not. But I don't really trust it too much coming off of the weekend. What I would like to look at is actually CME chart on the lower-term timeframes. And what do you know? We actually do have a bit of a range going on right here. Now, I would like to do this on the 4-hour because that's the actual chart that I made this one on. So has it actually broken officially yet? No, not necessarily. However, we are pretty damn close, to be fair. Now, with that in mind, this is looking more corrective rather than reversal-ish, if you will. Still looking at 63,800 as like the major area to the upside. That's where I expect to see a lot of short stops, and where I expect to see like an actual squeeze. That's where it becomes actionable, matching it up with the flow analysis and also the underlying market dynamics like we just addressed earlier. That's where that becomes very, 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 very relevant. Until then, I mean, technically speaking, on the short-term timeframes, bears have a lot going on for them. They do have their lower highs, and we are within the context of a little bit of a short-term downtrend here as well. However, I would still be looking at about the 60,500 area on a 4-hour closure. If I'm going to use this on an hourly, by the way, what level would I use? It's actually pretty simple right here, just basically $60,000. If Bitcoin does start to break below there, then yes, I do suppose I would be looking for a retest of our 28th of October lows, that being somewhere around 58,500 or so. Retracing this wick over here would not be fucking good for the boo laws. So while I would be looking for a bounce off this region, if that were to happen, which I'm not necessarily, fully convinced of right now, mostly based off of volatility metrics suggesting that this is, again, still a little bit more on the corrective side rather than reversalist side, then we'd be looking significantly lower. I do suspect. I mean, significantly lower for like an hourly, right? So we're talking like $57,000 most likely. Anyways, with that in mind, is there anything I want to be aware of right here on CME chart? Yeah, we do see hourly Joule is starting to lose its curvature to the downside. So don't know how much more this one technically has on it. And on the 4-hour right here, we do see kind of the same thing as well. In fact, this one could be even aligning with potentially a bit of a potentially could build a long signal right here. I just want to see DMI support on this one, but what does this really account for? It's probably a little bit more sideways within this overall range. I'm going to get rid of this level right here because while it is relevant, it's just not relevant for it's just not that interesting of a level right now. It's only if I'm like trading very low term timeframes. And then more importantly, BBWP contracting into this as well does make me kind of consider that, you know, we're probably looking at, I'd at least give it a chance right here. Anyways, now what I want to focus on now is some very important stuff, some very, very important and serious things right now. What is that? That is going to be the higher term timeframes, because that's really going to set in the buys for the next month, maybe 2 months to come. Actually, probably at least 2 months, as we'll discuss right here. Here is our bi-monthly closure for Bitcoin as of last night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We are now in November 1st, baby. We are now in November 1st. And guess what? We did close our bi-monthly dildo above the topside Toronto band right here. So within the context of this overall structure, obviously Bitcoin sitting in, you know, not just a higher low, but also a higher high, alongside closing above the topside Toronto band does imply that trend continuation over the macro is a lot more likely than not. In fact, I don't necessarily think that Bitcoin, you know, if Bitcoin wants to test some downside this month, I think 57.5 is probably maybe 55.5 would be kind of like max downside in my opinion. I don't think that asking for 58,000 bucks would be too much, but overall, I am essentially looking for a trend continuation from here. This is actually very, 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 very good. It's also consistent on CME chart as well, of course, even looking a little bit better there for what it's worth. And then on the monthly as well, did we get a new all-time high closure right here? We did on CME. Yes. What about on spot price action? 61,357 spot 98 versus yeah, we did. Hey, sweet. Okay, so that is all good in the hood, and that will imply that the topside Toronto band now on the monthly is going to be, you know, kind of a big area for, let's say, like your daily and weekly. So keep that area in mind. About 70,000 bucks. I would be looking for, you know, assuming that Bitcoin even gets there to begin with, which I think is actually rather likely, whether it be November or December, very likely to pull back there as well, and then probably continue on over time. Again, the buy monthly is suggesting that, you know, at least for myself, my buys coming in these next 2 months into end of year essentially is new highs. In this case, significantly new highs. And now that we do have this kind of structure confirmed right here, we can pull a bit of a fib extension on this one to see, oh, I guess I already have it on. So there we go. And what do you know? That $70,000 number kind of aligning with the one spot 414 extension, which we have not hit just yet. Yes, we did pretty much hit the 1272 right there at about 68,000 bucks or just below it. Long term, or I suppose long term over the next month or so, assuming that this one does continue, next very big area will be about 80,000 bucks. And then above there, things can get a lot more crazy. So these are kind of the levels that I'd be looking at, you know, onwards and forwards from here. As relevant, you know, pivots on price action, obviously. Now, very, very long term, you know, in this probably, at least I would assume it probably doesn't happen this month if it's going to happen. It probably happens maybe like around early December. If Bitcoin really does start to take above 60, or sorry, not 60, but 81,000 bucks within the next month or so, that's going to essentially, at least in my opinion, confirm 6-digit Bitcoin. Extremely likely that we do get up to about 115,000 to maybe even 135,000 bucks after that. This is where I would start to really interpret a potential, you know, major high coming in on price action. Now, obviously, this is a little bit obtuse to what I was stating in yesterday's video. That one a little bit more on the clickbait side, but, you know, we could also prove that with data. So this would be a little bit more of a conservative estimate on this. Again, assuming that all of those assumptions do hold true. Now, here's the thing as well. Not only do we have trend volatility, but we also do have monthly momentum now as well, as we do see monthly Stochs cross the upside, and more importantly, hold within the bullish control zone right here. And, well, it's not going to be too hard to keep them there, or at least I would assume so, as Bitcoin just needs to close above 40,000 bucks by end of this month in order to remain with upside posturing. So that is looking good. And obviously, CME is about the same as well, actually, even a little bit lower than that, to be fair. I do like the more elongated history over here on spot price action, so fair enough. And I am essentially looking for, you know, a lost momentum somewhere within this region right here, as we have seen over the dawn of time. That has been actually rather consistent. So I would say that, you know, this is, you know, more or less over the higher term timeframes looking pretty damn good. The question is, short term timeframes, do we break down to like 58 or 57.5 or so before then? I don't have a strong opinion on that. If anything, actually, if I did have to call right now, actually do not think that will happen, or at least I don't think that will go below the monthly area right here, which is pretty much 60,000 bucks anyways. So overall, I should mention this as well. Daily, daily has, as you know, as long as it's going sideways here, I mean, again, this does look a lot more corrective than not. We do see daily Stokes will actually turn back up today on today's closure at 8 p.m. Eastern. Actually, no, it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time now, isn't it? Yeah, because the time changed somewhere around there. Well, whatever it ends up being, that's going to be right around $60,000. So if Bitcoin can hold $60,000 today, this would also, you know, it would not just turn up, it'd also be a rejection of the bearish control zone. Again, this whole pullback coming on declining volatility right here. So that does kind of tell me it's more corrective rather than what's it called? Oh man, I can't think of my words. Reversal-ish. Yeah, there we go. So again, you know, if Bitcoin can hold $60,000 today, that would be the next sort of, you know, I suppose short-term biggest thing that could happen within the context of that. Here's see if CME is about the same area. No, it's not. It's actually still showing 64,150. So I do default to CME in these, you know, in these scenarios. So that would be a little bit less of a, of a short-term bullish look. Again, assuming that Bitcoin can hold $60,000, but I suspect that the 12 hour is probably already there, and it is already there actually. 58.5 going to be the magical number on this one. So, you know, again, I would still kind of say $60,000, kind of a big area, both psychologically, and it looks like a big area for momentum as well here. Anyways, I think I've said just about everything that I want to say for right now. Is there anything else? Yeah, I mean, we do see that daily BBWP is pretty much on the, I wouldn't say necessarily on the floor, but it's in single digit percentiles. You know, we really haven't seen this since September, actually. And remember, September, while it was a downside move on that expansion, it was still, you know, a pretty impressive move. For example, the last upside move that we saw on low volatility was way back on over here in July, actually. And that did lead into, well, over the next 11 days, 45% to the upside. And I mean, realistically, it just kind of trudged its way all the way upwards and onwards. No real major pullbacks until the next major high at about just under 80% right there over the next 48 days. So I do like this. Again, of course, daily Jewel is showing a little bit of an upside posture here as well. I don't trust this one as much because it's not supported with DMI, and it's not really coming off of a fib either. But you know, that'd be a little more hopium, I do suppose. I'm curious if CME is doing the same thing. No, it is not actually, but volatility is within the same area. And if I am looking at CME right here, it actually does kind of look like it wants to give another retest down to about 58 or 59,000 bucks for what it's worth. So again, you know, the short-term timeframes I do think are a lot more obvious right now. We did play out a short-term downside move from yesterday, again, based off of the 61,100 level breaking. And now, you know, I mean, I would still just go kind of range to range in this case. Let me actually put in a nice little blue box right here. Let's do something like that. There we go. Lovely. And get rid of that for right now as we don't necessarily need it. All right, cool. I think it's time for me to get on into the comments. So I'm going to turn on the alerts for right there. And holy shit, man, I see 540 likes in this video. This is just getting insane, man. Mind blowing. What the fuck? Amazing, but what the fuck? It's amazing, but what the fuck? Again, major appreciation for that. It is well, it's very much appreciated. Cool. All right. So I think Elsa has them all ready over here. Ricky Owen, before the stream even starts. Nice, my friend. Amigo, I thoroughly enjoyed your Ethereum analysis regarding Raoul Pol. Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of Raoul Pol. Maybe I could say his name properly. That'd be good. That'd be respectful. Raoul Pol. He's very lucid in his explanations, and he seems grounded, even though some RuPaul. No, it's Raoul Pol, not RuPaul, who is not the same person. but yeah, man, he has a really interesting take from an investment, like a long-term investment standpoint. Anyways, you're saying I personally picked up a few call options for 12,000 strike in March 2022. Can we please do Ethereum USD daily, weekly? Quick one. Why do you sound nice when on Elio trades? Well, I mean, why do I sound nice when I'm on Elio trades? You know, his channel is a little bit more family friendly, we'll say, and you know, that's all well and good. So I mean, I want to be respectful, obviously, like I'm a guest there, right? But yeah, you know, it's just his channel's vibe. That's all. Over here, we can be as fucking dirty as we want because, well, at the end of the day, if this channel had 1,000 subscribers or 100 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, it really wouldn't make a huge difference. In fact, I mean, for the people who have been here for a long time, you know, I mean, this channel hasn't really changed throughout that whole time. The only thing that's changed is I got a better camera, a better microphone, and we got rid of the casting couch. All right, cool. Okay, so the question is, can we look at Ethereum on the daily and weekly? Sure, man, sure. Let me actually bring it up over here because it sounds like you're going to be very long-term on this. So while daily and weekly is going to be good, I suspect that you probably want to see a little bit more of like the monthly and long-term timeframes. But correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, we'll record this one regardless. And here we have Ethereum, symbol ETH versus the dollar. And I want to address first and foremost the monthly closure right here, which looks pretty damn good. Uh-oh, we have some spammers in the comments right now, but that's all good. Elsa sent him on a vacation. Nice one. Anyways, looking at the monthly right here, something very, very important did happen. We did close above the topside Bollinger Band yet again. So that is, well, trend continuation by definition, as we are breaking out of this prior structure right here, this nice little ascending triangle, or if you want to call it some sort of a bastardized version of cup and handle, that's fine as well. And volatility is expanding. So volatility plus trend. And as we'll see soon enough, I suspect that momentum's there as well. And I would say that while Ethereum could have a little bit of downside this month, maybe even just below $4,000, that's completely fine. Long term, I do, well, at least based off of this, I will have the long-term bias that it very likely does continue. Now, this is even more powerful on the bi-monthly as well, which closed well above the topside Toronto band. In fact, has been consistently doing it ever since basically this past year, since January. And what do you know? The topside Toronto band now coming in just below about $4,000. So, if we do see a bit of a downside move on this, on this month or perhaps next month, I do think somewhere between about 39 and 4,000 is kind of where I'd be looking for. I don't think that if things start to go a little bit further south than that, then that would be a good insight that perhaps this is not going to be the most likely thing to be happening. But overall, why is this important? Well, now we can actually draw some long-term projections on this one, as I'm taking on the macro scale a Fibonacci extension right here. As you can see, we based off the 1.272, which is actually really, really good. And Bitcoin has a history of doing that as well. Anyways, short-term relevant to a monthly, obviously. So perhaps maybe later this month in November, I would be looking for a move somewhere around the 1.618 on a continuation drive. I suspect that that's also going to be in line with our measured move coming off of this as a nice little formation here as well. Something like this would be about... Not going to be super exact because this one's a little bit wonky right there, but let's see if it kind of aligns with it. Oh, what do you know? Line's actually right there. Perfect. All right, sweet. Anyways, long term, do I expect that things stop there? Probably not. I would be looking for a bit of a short term reversal perhaps, and consolidation lower. Long term, which is now specifically speaking to Mr. Ricky Owen. Realistically, a break above there, and I am looking towards somewhere between about $13,000 and $14,000. Here's the thing, though. I almost never, or at least I really can't recall too many times. In fact, I can't recall any time, but I'm just going to say many times because maybe I'm forgetting one or two scenarios where I've seen like a macro cycle top at the 2-spot extension. Typically, I see them somewhere around here, which would be significantly higher. Now, I'm not going to repeat those numbers because they're not really relevant right now. It's way too fucking far away. But to address your question, yeah, I do think that $13,000 to $14,000 is actually somewhat likely, especially on a break of basically $5,500. Let's say on like a weekly long term. Anyways, go check out momentum oscillators over here. Whoops, wrong chart. Over here. Yes, there it is. Found it. And let's see what we got going on right now. Daily is going to be down, so maybe a little bit of short-term correction. Weekly is still up as long as above 38.69. Good. Monthly is freshly up, by the way. Very important right there. And holding within the bullish control zone as long as we're above 25.50. Looks rather likely. Looks good. And that would be speaking towards the long term, obviously. So yeah, man, to address your question, long term, I actually do quite like this one. Again, should always offer up an invalidation point. Short term bullishness does subside back down below about 3,900. I would be looking for another correction somewhere between about 3,650 to 3,700. Anywhere around the 55 right there would be fair game. But until that happens, I mean, I guess I'm medium term, long term, and macro bullish on this one. Very short term time frames. If we go down here to an hourly, not really getting too much from this right now. I mean, I'll tell you what you already know. I mean, it's not anything too sophisticated, but 4180, a nice downside pivot for the hourly right there. Short term, lower highs coming in right around about 4322. So I would declare a reversal back above there. Even back above about 4300 would probably look good enough for me. But that's essentially what I'm looking at for the time being. Volatility is starting to increase, and are we seeing a little bit of a low being put in right there? Perhaps yes. In fact, I do think so. Yeah, same thing on the 4 hour as well. Momentum oscillators are looking more corrective here than not. Still like the uptrend, man. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and in this case, all higher term timeframes uptrending, just short term timeframes kind of consolidating right now, with BBWP on the floor right here as well, back down into single digit percentiles at 6.35 percentile. So I don't necessarily think that it's like ready today, for example, but perhaps in the next week or two. Expansion from there would, well, obviously look really, really good. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Ethereum, sir. Nice one, man. And then you're also asking about Link. Yeah, we can do that. That's actually going to be a good one to record as well. I haven't done a recording on this one in a bit. Still hanging around that $30 mark or so. It doesn't look too interesting right here compared to a lot of the other charts, but I do think it has a nice base for what it's worth. Anyways, here we have Chainlink versus the dollar, and I want to mark off a couple of things of interest. We do have a low right here. We do have a high right here. We do have a higher low right here, and on any sort of a break, especially on a weekly back above about 33.62 or so, we will have a higher high as well, and that would be your confirmed reversal. Now, if you are just looking at this one to kind of follow the general direction of the broad market, probably going to follow through. Link has been in the past one of the more stronger coins. I would offer up an invalidation on the short-term bullishness below about 27.5. That's where problems do start to at least happen on the short-term timeframes yet again, because technically we do have a lower high in here right now. This correction again coming on declining volatility, so I do suspect that this one again probably going to be resolved to the upside, mostly in line with the rest of the market. Let's go check out momentum. Whoops, this is not momentum oscillators, my bad. Let's go over to this pane over here, see what we got. And what do we see? Monthly Stokes did not cross up, but they will cross up and reject the bearish control zone next month. So we got a lot of waiting to do right here with any sort of a closure above 26.71. What about the weekly? Weekly is freshly up, however. Big deal right there above about 29.84, which we're currently 1 cent above right now. Looking good, of course. And then daily, what are we doing right here? We'll actually turn back up freshly and hold within the bullish control zone. If it can close today above 30 bucks and 35 cents, that would look really, really good. So overall, I do think that link is probably going to follow the rest of the market. If you're looking at lower term timeframes right here, you do have a very obvious, short-term range, I suppose, going on. Short-term would look, ready to trend once again with a 4-hour total closure back above about 31.65. To the downside below about 28.17 or so, that's where I'd probably front run the daily reversal and look for moves back down towards 26.5 to 25.5 base. Until then, I'd probably give it a chance here. I do think that this one will very likely pull through. Short-term timeframes look like they want to bounce here for what it's worth. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for Link, sir. Nice one on Link. And Luna, man, you are all about the L's today. Not as like in a loss, but as just in the number. Anyways, let me take another sippy sip of this. I don't know if we'll record this one. The glasses make it Chuck's Crypto Cave. Hold my beer. Says Crypto Hash. Nice one, man. Mr. D says 1296 watching, only 674 likes. Guys, smash the like button. It would be appreciated, but we're not gonna beat you if you don't. It's all good. we're not gonna be taking names. It's you are free to do whatever you want in your life, in your adult life, assuming that you are of age. If you're not, you better fucking do it. Otherwise, jail. Stupid jokes. Sorry, man. Actually, I do quite like what's going on here in Luna. All right, we have to record this one. This one is pretty good. Here we have Terra Luna, symbol LUNA versus the dollar, and we have a phenomenal weekly closure yet again. Now, of course, a weekly range going into the all-time highs right here is going to imply that we could see a bit of downside. I do think anywhere down around about 38 bucks is fair game. That would not be concerning at all whatsoever, but I remain long-term bullish on this from a weekly perspective, like not short-term timeframes perhaps, as long as we're above about, what is this? Let's call it 34 and a quarter on a weekly. Below there, very corrective, very nasty, probably looking for big moves down into the mid-20s or so. But for right now, short-term timeframes, will in relationship to that, the daily, still holding the uptrend right here, which is actually overall good. Do we see? Yes, we do see declining volatility throughout this whole phase right here. So I do still look at this as probably going to lead to trend continuation in this case. That's going to be resummation of the uptrend. But here is the trigger for that. Need to see a higher close above about, let's just call it 50 bucks in this case. Nice and easy to read. I would like to see that alongside volatility expansion again, and that's going to look really, 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 really good for a trend continuation. Would have a target on this one as well. I'm going to actually do this perhaps right, something like this. Yeah. All right. Good thing I did that because my preschool drawings are not too accurate right there. Would imply a move on a breakout above about 50 bucks, somewhere around about 70 to 71 bucks. Would look pretty damn good, obviously. 5-day, more of the same. Weekly, monthly, yeah, all the same accord right there as well. I am curious to see if on this chart we are trending above the top side drone band for right now, because that would make things a lot easier. Maybe pull some extensions there as well. Luna's tunas. Yeah, we are actually. Where's the top side drone band coming in right now? Basically on our current monthly low at 41.12.5. Okay, well, let's see what this brings up then. I'm going to take a more conservative estimate on this. We are already at the 1.618, so a breakout above there. This is on a monthly, obviously, so not really relevant for right now. Probably looking at, 63 to 70, and then realistically, probably looking towards 3 digits within the next like 2 to 3 months. If that were to happen, that would look really, really good. Curious what do we look like over here? Yeah, daily will pop back. Sorry, are we on the right chart? No, we're not. This is a link. No. Thought those numbers didn't look right. Tricky, man, tricky. Good things I have these glasses right now. Daily turns back up above 42.5 bucks, which we're actually only a quarter away from right now. So that is looking good. In weekly, actually freshly popped back up above 44.25. So I'd actually give it a chance from here. I suspect that this one actually looking better than more better than worse. Especially again, if you can see another pop back above this 43 and 40 cent high right there. Short term, I'd be looking for another run towards the top side of your of your range, which is like 44 to 45 or so. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Luna. Mind Diva says he couldn't find his footrest and had to do a quick run to the footrest store. You're exactly right, sir. Exactly right. But now I have it, so we're ready to rock and roll once again. Ben0613 says, "Hey Krown, what's up, man? Can you check out XCAD?" Sure. All right. I think I saw this one on the winners list on the Krown Chain application earlier. Let's see what it's doing right now. Looks so. Oh, okay. This is an hourly. Oh yeah, looks very, very good. Looks really, really good right here. What time frames are you looking at, sir? No time frames given. Whip 'em. Let's pull one of these because we are kind of in a blue sky breakout right here. Okay, so we already sold off the 161.618 right there. So I'm looking for a clean break. This is good. This is really, really good. Probably looking towards $6 plus. I don't know what time frame we're on, but that's relevant towards the daily. I would invalidate that below about 475. Even just with a wick below there, that would look pretty damn bad. But looking good, man. Looking good. That one actually looks like a clean breakout. Punts and Pounder, good morning to you, man. I haven't seen you in a while, so hopefully all is well, sir. ACHUSD on the daily. Okay. This is Alchemy Pay. All right. Huobi or Coinbase? Well, pick your fucking poison on this, I guess. Yeah, pretty damn good here. It's a sloppy altcoin, obviously, but what do we have? We do have a nice little flag out formation right here. Obviously, whatever I was forecasting right there was not relevant towards this time frame. And we are seeing volatility expansion. We are seeing this one starting to put an actual low right there, and we are seeing momentum also just turn up. Dare I say it? Dare I fucking say it? Probably looking for this one to work its way sideways and up back up to the top side of the prior range, like 11.5 to just under 12 cents or so. You are on a daily, so yeah, that is relevant towards you. Invalidation would be short term below about 6.4 cents or so. Until then, I mean, this looks good. Short term time frames are kind of a little bit overdone here, so I do suspect that it's going to trade a little bit sideways in the short term and then probably try that move over the next week or two. But overall good. Overall pretty damn good. Mr. Superly Googly. Super Googly. Man, that name is difficult. Hello, sir. Bought Mana and Sand the moment Facebook changed its name last Friday and exited most of them yesterday. Any good reentry prices for Mana, 4-hour, and daily? I don't necessarily know what like your strategy is, so I don't think that I could give you straight up financial advice. It's also kind of illegal. But let's see. You're looking at a 4-hour and daily. Those are also going to be like massively different potential reentries. I mean, this is a phenomenal chart right here. No doubt about that. Like Jesus Christ. Right, here we have Decentraland, symbol MANA versus the dollar, and we have a phenomenally powerful breakout on volume above our prior range high. So I believe we did a video on this one at the end of last week. We're probably looking at a move towards like 160. Well, we certainly got that move, and now it's an actual official breakout. So let's see where we're at in the grand scheme of things. I am curious to see where we currently are. Okay, so we're right around the 2 spot 414. Actually, no, we reject from the 2 spot 272. Currently trading down. So I do suspect that this one probably does pull back somewhere around about $2 overall. I do not think that this run is done, however. So short term, it is a little bit short term correct. It probably does pull back. Anywhere around $2 is fair game, or low $2. I think max pullbacks is like 165, 166 if things really get crazy. But long term, I'd still be bullish on this. I just want to see it kind of work off these overdone conditions here on BBWP, let volatility cool off, and then I'd probably be looking for some sort of a move between about $5 and $5.50, and that's where I'd kind of be expecting the next sort of major consolidation. Long term, can it go higher than that? Yeah, but now we're talking like maybe months down the road, assuming that it even gets to these areas in the first place and holds them above $4 specifically. and I'd probably be looking towards, I suppose, double digits, 10.5 to maybe even as much as 15. I suspect that, you know, at that point, Bitcoin's probably well above $100,000. So take that as you will. I'm not saying that that's happening anytime soon. Let's go down to the short-term timeframes now and see what we got going on. Yeah, short-term is a little bit more corrective. I would be looking for at minimum a short-term move towards 235. If things get a little more crazy, I'd be looking somewhere around about $2. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to resolve itself because this one really did get like, this one got quite volatile, as you can imagine. Just curious if we have anything to look at over here, perhaps. Mana. Yeah, weekly Stokes are actually going to cross back up above 262 end of week. So that'll look really, really good for continuation into the rest of November, most likely. Daily, again, a little bit more corrective here, although it actually will pop back up above 260. What about 4 hour? Same thing, will actually pop back up above 350. So I am thinking a little more sideways here. What is your sort of sideways range? I mean, this one's going to be tricky because it's like, it's so fucking volatile, but 363 to the upside versus I would still say about, you know, probably around $2 to the downside, somewhere around about there, as this is going to start to come in over time. So, you know, I think the fun part is over for like the moment right here. I don't think they're going to be making new ultimate highs like today, but assuming that this goes well over the next week or two, then yeah, I'd probably be looking for a continuation into end of year, and this would look really, really good. Long-term bullishness would be invalidated with basically a weekly below about 165, I'd say. Until then, you know, let the trend be your friend, sir. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Mana. Cool. Jason's here. What's up? Hey, what's up, man? By the way, Jason's going to be on the channel either tomorrow or maybe even today. But probably tomorrow, it sounds like. Or perhaps we'll have to do it over the weekend. Whatever your schedule is, man. I'm sure that we'll be able to figure it out. But I can't go to the gym this week, so I have a little bit more free time than usual. So perhaps we can make it work at a reasonable time, sir. What's up, Ben Woods? If you can do yoga with you, great. I can't wait. Can't wait, sir. Kati USD. By the way, guys, check out Jason Pazito's channel. He is actual good authority. Like, he has a very subdued tone. He states it actually perfectly in the beginning of his channel. Like, this is your hopium-free crypto channel. I like it, man. I like it a lot. And a lot more long-term stuff as well, which I don't typically cover. Anyways, Ben Wood says, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Please do Koti USD. Okay. Koti. USD. Again, another really, really good weekly close right here. I mean, it's closing on new all-time highs. That's just not bearish. Probably looking for, you know, short-term moves to like 71.5 cents, but I do think that this one very likely gets continuation sometime this month towards 90 cents, maybe even $1. I mean, usually a lot of the time, once you get to the nines for your first time, you get kind of a free ride to the century mark, I suppose. In this case right here, 4 hour time frame, lower term time frames, that would be invalidated with a move back down below about 58.5. Until then, sideways and up is the name of the game. I think that this one's just consolidating right now. Looks like potentially another high low going on right here, but not too much. Yeah, this one's kind of looking weird, actually. What about the daily? Yeah, daily's fine. What did I say invalidation below? Where would my invalidation be below? Sorry, I think I said 58 cents earlier. I would actually adjust that, not to 58 cents, 56 cent even on a daily. That would invalidate bullishness here, but this is good, man. Volatility expanding off the lows, and obviously this has just been another reaccumulation at the highs. I mean, this is good, really, really good, man. We've seen a lot of good charts today, so I expect that's going to help out with the overall buys for the Bitcoin, I suppose. Just oh, there he is. There he fucking is, man. You are a mensch, my friend. You are a goddamn angel, sir. I'm gonna take another sippy sip of this. And Frank Ignal's here. What's up, man? You look like a bee. Yeah, man. I'm trying to go for that Chronicles of Riddick look. Trying to be much more cooler than I currently am. Ah, there we go. Tea actually might be good. Yep. Thank you, sir. What's up, Jack? Good morning to you, man. Ethereum, Bitcoin, business as usual. Yeah, let's see where this one's at, because, you know, Bitcoin, if I'm expecting Bitcoin to lead this rally, then probably the Bitcoin parent's not going to be doing too hot, but I remember last time we looked at it, it was massively bullish, so yeah, still kind of holding sideways here. Weekly, really, really good. I do think that you could see a downside move this week, maybe down around about 6.8 to 6.5 million Satoshis. Monthly, really great closure. I imagine the bi-monthly is probably good as well. Not as obviously good, actually. In fact, that very well could be a major top right there. The monthly looks a lot better, to be fair, and the weekly obviously looks just like a reaccumulation right here. So I kind of run with that assumption until it's proven otherwise. Something like this, man, you know, it's kind of hard to hate higher lows, but see what the daily looks like. Short term, it could very easily come back down to that 6 to 8 region. 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame is still pretty damn good, but again, I do think that it could easily have moved down to like 6.8 to 6.8, 8.5 or so. Long term, I still really like it, but short term continuation would be implied towards the prior range highs. Be like 7.5 million satoshis. If you can start to close 4 hour dildos back above this region right here, which is 716, 717 or so, that would look good. Until then, short term, I do think it's a little bit more short term corrective here actually. Mostly going sideways, but short term, you know, a little bit of sideways and down. Probably sits in a higher low on a daily or something, and then tries its way again. David Cesar, hello sir. Can you please check out Casino Coin? Oh dear lord, what the fuck is this? Wait, is this versus what? All right, I don't think I've ever seen a ticker this long. 7 letters? What the fuck? Okay. Oh, man, this thing is not on TradingView, and it's. To be honest with you, man, it sounds questionable. Casino Coin. I can try typing in Casino Coin. I am limited by what TradingView has. Of course. Casino Coin. Yeah, it's not popping up, man. I do apologize. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's here. I can look at Coinbase, but I suspect that that's not the same thing, man. So unfortunately, I can't actually look at that one. What's up, Gemini Athlete? Matic for daily and weekly. Interesting. 4-day chart isn't something that I really ever look at, but all right. Suppose we could. Hourly just looks like some sideways price action here. Probably setting another low. Daily, I really like this one. This one hit my target? No, did not yet. Still looking for this one to reach up towards about $3. That would be invalidated below about 165 or so. You're looking at a 4-day though. I like the 2-day. I like the 5-day. 4-day is not something that I've ever really considered looking at. It's still fun, I suppose. We can do a 4-day though. Why not? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Oh, it's a little Moomy cup. You guys know what a Moomy is? Does anyone know what a Moomy is? 4-day is really good here, man. It does look like a clean break. So again, I would have an invalidation on a closure below about 165 or so, even on a daily, but I'm still looking for this one to make a run up towards the 1618 and fulfill the measure move off of this accumulation right here, which is just below about $3 or so. Probably some stops along the way at about 2.25 and 2.5, but long term I like it. It's good, very good. Let me just fuck! I ate the ginger. Oh, fuck my asshole, man. That was terrible. Ahmad, Mr. Ahmad, what's up, man? Can you please provide some targets for Blocktopia? I don't know what fucking time frames you're on, man. So, can you please provide some? That would qualify as financial advice, man. That's kind of illegal, but I don't even know what fucking time frame you're on. It's like, are you on a minute chart? The chart is gonna be a lot different than a fucking hourly, right? It's good. I do think this one probably. I mean, I'd like to see it break above about 17 cents. You know, you got a bit of, I mean, you do have a setup right here, right? As long as you're above about 14.3, I am looking for this to be resolved to the upside, and I'm looking for a measure move somewhere around like 20 cents or so, assuming that you can actually close above 17.2, let's call it. But again, I don't know what time frame you're on or anything like that, man. Also, I want to avoid, you know, doing like actual financial advice because my bunghole is very tight, and I would not like to get it loosened by the SEC's long and very girthy dildos. What's up, Kirk Benjamin? Welcome to the cave, man, and thanks for joining. By the way, very tight, very tight. I'm actually thinking of changing the name of this channel to something a little bit more personal. Anyways, just in case we do see the name change in the next day or so, it's probably gonna be like Eric Krown Crypto or something. ARC says, brother, what's up, man? So I get the concept of support and resistance, but I'm having trouble gauging when those lines break, will hold, or any advice. Happy Halloweenies. Okay, this is actually a really good question. So I'm going to borrow some concepts from price action trading, which I think is actually a rather potent thing to understand. I think that you kind of have to understand if you're going to do support and resistance trading, because especially in cryptocurrency land, because it just, I don't know, this methodology seems to work out really, really well. So, all right, let's say you're on an hourly right here, right? Let's do this properly. Okay. How do we want to do this? I want to pick like a random piece of price action so that we don't fuck around with this one too much. All right. So here's kind of how I look at it. So we are in an hourly right here, and I'm just going to talk about the downside range right now. So let's say you're trading maybe we go to the 4 hour actually, just because it's kind of a lot of there. Should we? I want a good example if I'm going to explain this shit. All right. Here's my example then. Okay. So you see this right here. Or do I want to do this example or a different one? Fuck it. Yeah, I'll do this one right here. Okay, so you have a big spike on volume, right? On this low right here. And so a lot of the time what people will do is they will look at the prior range and they'll say, okay, your support is actually right here, which it's not obviously, like price action just slicing through here like a knife through hot butter, right? But the reason why I choose this area right here in the wick specifically is because when you have very, very volatile price action on volume, that's kind of like the market saying something very specifically. And it's essentially saying that, hey, if we start to break this area right here, all of these buyers are about to get fucked and we're going to move much lower, obviously. So in this case, when I'm looking at like a range trade, for example, I want to get the low and then I want to get the high after that big spike of volume, and that can actually be used as a bit of as an edge. And you'll see that while price action does come down and test this region a few times, if you were using like a horizontal support resistance from like a prior area over here, it's going to give you a false read essentially, in the sense that like you're going to look at this right here and you're gonna say, oh shit, it's broken, with all these coaches below, so we're going down. Well, no, not necessarily. It's just ranging for right now. So I like to use those specific areas for like really, really good ones, ones that actually feel comfortable trading off of, for example, because I know that if this area breaks over here, we're going much lower, and obviously that does happen like a little bit later after that, about a couple weeks later actually, and Bitcoin goes down another $4,000, which at that price point was another 10% move. So a big deal, obviously. And over here to the upside, I do pick that first wick as a bit of a, as a bit of a relevant region. And then of course, what happens after that? Bitcoin does get a nice move to the upside short term, but breaking back down below it, that is like the big area to be aware of, because we get sent right back down to this area over here. You can see that there's not really any stops along the way. So that's kind of how I've resolved to do it over the years, especially with cryptocurrency. I do have a slightly different methodology in traditional markets. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful, sir. All right, cool. So I want to see closures below like specific areas. So in that case, big wick and big volume off of a volatile move as well, is typically going to be a big pivot as well. Nav Singh wants to look at mana. Yep, we already got that one. So all good there. KMK says Airweave. All right. See if we can find it first. That'd be good. There we go. Found it. It's on Bittrex, so must be old. What time frame, sir? Hourly, 4 hour, and daily. Where are we at in the grand scheme of things? Looks similar to some of the other charts that we've seen, just a little more sloppy. I do suspect that you're probably doing something like this, right? You're probably doing something like this. And that does imply that you can come all the way back down to like $45 or so. Just want to see that area hold. By the same extension, I'm not getting like super excited about price action as long as you're below about 65.5. 4 hour time frame. Looks like you might test the lows once again. I don't really have a strong opinion there. Hourly says no. Actually, I think that this one actually puts in a higher low right here and tries a short term move back up towards 55 or so. So yeah, I'm not really too strong on the short term time frames on this one, but as long as this one's above $45 especially, I'm like long-term bullish on it, just giving it a chance to consolidate in there. That's kind of what I'm looking for. However, big problems, man. Back down to 33.5. Let's see. Dana, hope your laser eyes heal soon. Yeah, it's actually going really, really well. It's been I think it's been like a rapid recovery. I just the lights are super kind of sensitive right now, so that's why I'm wearing these. But yeah, it's actually really, really cool. Like my vision the next day after the surgery, like literally the next day, I go outside and I'm walking outside. I was looking at my phone to begin with, which I can't see too well because it's like too close up. But then I just look down the street and I'm like, holy shit, I can see everything. This is amazing. This is fucking amazing. So I was just like standing still, like looking around like a fucking moron at 7 a.m. in the morning on my morning walk. But thank you. I do appreciate that. Anyways, let's address what you're actually asking about, which is Sand USD on the 4-hour and daily. Sure. And USD right here. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Powerful move. Jesus, man. All right. How many videos do I have already? Am I already overloading this bitch or what? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think we'll skip this one then. Although it is a really, really good chart here. Really fucking good chart, Donna. Big volume on the break above your prior all-time highs. This one, I think, or very likely, or has to have gotten the weekly closure right there, or monthly as well. Yeah, really, really good here. I do think that you can pull back, maybe even as much down to 120-ish region. Short term, it is a little bit more sideways and corrective. Short term range would be something like this. Right now, between about 186 to the upside versus about 142 to the downside. If you do break below about 142, that's where I do look for that move to about $1.20 or so. Until then, though, sideways, just basically above 120 does lead very likely towards long-term continuation. This is powerful right there. I'm curious if we hit like a major fib along the way. Let's see. Yep. 1.618 getting the highs right there. I do think that this one is going to spend some time consolidating between about $1.20 and $2.25, but long term, on a break back above your highs, that's you can look at the numbers right there. I'm not going to repeat them because they're just too much right now. It's too much tuna, unfortunately, and I need to take another sip of this tea. Really good, actually. Really fucking good when you're not chewing on the damn gingers. Nice. Show the mug. Do you want to see my Moomy mug? See it well? There you go. It's like some Finnish, like, cartoon character. It's like a half fucking elephant, that white thing. It's not an elephant, it's a Moomy. It's you tell me what this is. What do you think this is? It's, there he is. There's Moomy. There's old Moomy. Oh, well. What's up, Gabor? Good morning to you as well, man. SRM, looking at Q4. This is Serum, I think this is a Sam coin, although I don't know. Not as inherently looking good as some of the other charts. This one has not broken out yet, actually. I don't have any end of Q4 targets for you, man, because this one isn't, it's still consolidating right here, but I can make a, like an if-and statement here, more importantly. If you do start to see breaks back above basically your current highs right here, let's just say about $12.50 on a daily, I would be looking for this one to, over the next couple months, probably work its way up towards $20+. That's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy, actually. What the fuck? That's too much. Too much tuna. The short-term time frames. What's going on right here? Doing something like this, right? Big range between about 620 to the downside versus, your short-term time frame range to the upside is going to be about 932. Not really helpful right there. I do understand, but I have to kind of do market analysis over individualistic analysis, and I suspect that it probably will trade sideways and up from here. But I would say that it's all invalidated, or at least any potential major bullish situation on the higher term time frame is invalidated below about 620 or so. Hopefully that's helpful, sir. All right, cool. Let me just nice one. Very nice. Winning Choice 87 says, hello, champ. You should consider keeping those glasses on. It is kind of nice, actually. It is kind of nice. Joke. Wait, what? Glad you're doing well. Thanks, man. Coty, USD. I think we did Coty already. Those really good charts, or was it Seller? They're both the same to me. Yeah, really, really good right here. I think we're just getting to this one a little bit later, but I think invalidation on bullishness was below about 56.5 cents or so. I'm just looking for this one to trade sideways and up outside of this range. This is really, really good. Break above your current highs, and I'm looking for a move towards 90 cents, maybe even $1 over time. Fee Skate. Hello, sir. Cardurpo. Oh, Cardurpo. Cardano invalidation now that we have closure under $2. Oh, man, Cardano is just going to be the fucking... And this is just the... So, yes, the setup before was invalidated below about $2, and we did get a move, not necessarily down to my targeted region of about 170 thus far, and it still looks like a complete pile of junk right here, too. This is just so unimpressive right here, especially for a chart that was so impressive for the first half of the year, especially. My system tells me that this one is bearish, and to play it bearish, all the way down to like 160 or 150 just based off of this right here. But it's just very difficult to be bearish on something like this when Bitcoin and pretty much all the other charts that we've seen today are either at worst like consolidation or at best like new all-time highs. You know, when it comes to a situation like that, I really don't have a strong opinion. I know that that's not too helpful, but what I could say about this one is that, hey, you know, this is like the least impressive chart, the most uninspiring chart that we've seen today for the majors, as long as it's below about 220. So, you know, could it pull itself through from here? I mean, maybe you have a little bit of a bear trap going on right now and it pulls back up above about 208, 209. That would be good. That would be a really good first move. I mean, the thing is that, you know, you can't be bearish on something like this and bullish on Bitcoin. But if I'm just looking at this is obviously bearish right here. Obviously. I mean, it's a it's a descending triangle into a redistributive pattern right here, and target would be down to like 170 or 165. I don't know what to make of it, and I think the best answer for you, or at least that I can give, is a healthy amount of I don't know, man, because it's just not wise to be bearish on some when the majority of the market is looking good. So I'm having a hard time resolving that myself. I would personally like to see a full move down to like 165 to 170 first before anything else, and then probably pulls through with the rest of the market. That's personally what I'd like to see, but doesn't mean it needs to happen. And again, I do not like this weekly right here at all, man. But some of these altcoins are just fucking sloppy. I mean, this is a bearish setup. It's just, yeah. I know this is not helpful, man. Here's where I change my opinion and be like, hey, you know, it's going to join the rest of the market. I'm not too worried about it anymore. That'd be above 220. Until then, if I'm just looking at Cardano, bearish. If I'm looking at the rest of the market, maybe it holds up. Other than that, man, I can't really, I don't think I have a good answer for you, and I apologize for that. Ty Winset says, banned USD weekly, please, sir. Number 2, Oracle to link tend to oscillate best of the... Hey, thanks, man. Banned, did we? No, we did sand, not banned. Bands make her dance. Yeah, see, this chart is obviously a lot better short term. I mean, I love this structure right here. It's just not as mature as some of the other charts we have seen, but I do... Oh, wow, this one is really a long-term setup, though. I mean, look at this, man. Look at this. I'm like this, and you are getting your higher lows here. I don't know how long this one takes, but man, this is long-term looking really, 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 really good. Daily, or at least let me see what time frame that's about. Weekly. Oh, okay, you asked about it weekly. Well, daily, I actually like it right here. I would be looking for another move back around your September highs, which is 10.5 to $11 or so. Invalidation below about 830. If you're specifically asked about a weekly, same thing. I like the setup right here. You got your first higher low. Just need to see it trade above about that 1050, 1070 high from late August, and I'd be looking for a return back up to your prior range highs. This would actually have been a really good example of the support and resistance question earlier. Actually, in fact, this would be perfect right here. Fuck, who was that? Let me just go search it out again, because that was a really good question. Where is he? Mr. ARC, there he is. Okay, this would be a much better example because we actually have several iterations of this. So you see this first spike up over here, essentially getting your highs. I like putting my horizontal level right there, and until you get a closure on that time frame above the wick, then I don't look at it as like likely to make, well, in this case, new all-time highs, or just continuation from that. And you can see that it tests multiple times in here with multiple wicks above, but no closures above. So that's kind of a big deal. And I do think that this will keep you typically... Oh, wow! Bitcoin girthy green dildos right now. Holy fucking moly. There we go. There's your higher lows that we spoke about from this morning. Oh, fucking lovely, motherfucker. 4-hour girthy green dildos in my face. Actually, girthy cyan dildos in my face. Oh, it might even be an engulfing. Holy fucking moly. Is that an inverted head and shoulders I see, or are you just happy to see me? No, it's not, because fuck that pattern. But more importantly, back above 62 too. That's going to look better for the short term and probably gets that next move up, man. Again, I liketh what I seeth here. Boolah Jesus taking the wheel. Gingers, man. Ginger just tastes the worst. The worst, man. Weefa9 says, hi, Neo. Oh, yes, it is me, Keanu. Shib on the 4-hour and daily. We have not looked at that one, actually. In fact, this would be a good one to record. So I believe I did call a high on this one. I haven't looked at this one since then, but Dare I look at this one? It's not going to be a fucking high. Jesus Christ, man. This thing just won't stop, will it? Oh, it won't stop. It won't stop. Here we have a SHIB token, SHIB versus the dollar. And what do we have right here? Still have the same consolidation range that we spoke about it since last time, but I would be willing to say that this is not going to be the high that you are looking for. With any sort of a 4-hour delta closure back above about 78.50 or so, 78.60, especially with the daily above there as well. That would look really, really good, actually. Now to the downside, well, to the downside short term, I'm actually looking for this one to pop back up. Actually, it's looking good. Short term bullishness would be invalidated below about 68.20 or so, implying another move back down to the bottom side of the range. If that happens, I would go back on the same side of saying that this is probably going to be your high, because if that happens, what essentially is this? Well, it's your emerging downtrend, right? You do have a series of lower highs right there, and you would be making a distributed pattern of a descending triangle with confirmation specifically below on an hourly below about 6,100 or so, implying targets all the way down to probably 5,000 or below. Until then, I'd actually give it a chance first and foremost for the upside, just because, well, trend is your friend, obviously. But not confirmed as long as you're below, again, about 78.50. If that level does start to get taken out, where would my next targets be? Well, obviously your prior all-time high at about 88.50 or whatever it is, just below 9,000 or so. But would things stop there long term? I suspect probably not. I'd probably be looking for a full move just above 9,000. At that point, you know, another consolidation very likely, but I guess it would eat another zero and be looking towards 10,500 plus long term. Again, be aware of where the invalidations are, and just based off of my philosophy and my trading strategies. Understand that I do have to err on the upside right here. Although just be aware that if this one does turn down around, it will very likely happen fast and be rather nasty. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Weekly's not really bearish here, but I sure would not mind a move down to 5,000 if that level does break. See, what do we have going on right here? I mean, look, when I'm looking at volatility metrics, I do think it's a lot more likely to, at very best, trade sideways here within that range, as we do see volatility basically just get maxed out, essentially. What about a 12-hour? Yeah, it's starting to come down now, too. Fair enough, though. I'd give it the benefit of the doubt just based off of trend. But man, if this one does break to the upside, I don't think it has too much more, to be honest with you. And again, I would get pretty damn bearish on it below, what was it, 6,100 or so. Until then, it does look like it's probably putting another high low right here, and can't really be bearish off that. And well, take the wheel, Boolah Jesus, SHIB Jesus over there. Hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for a SHIB. Let's see. Shane Bosch says, hey, Krown, Super USD on the daily weekly. Oh, yes, this one's Elliot's one. I think this one's probably moving now, too, man. He is making moves. I won't say anything more than that, but I can tell you that Elliot is he is the man. He is the man. Yes, this one did hit our dollar target or so. I think it wasn't on this chart. God damn it, man. Let's just do a fresh one. So it's these range highs right here. And by the way, this would be another good one to kind of look at on support and resistance, right? So where would I declare a breakout with a daily closure above about 121.5 or so? Until then, I mean, this is still good on the short-term time frames and obviously uptrending right there. But looking at something like this, and could probably take a little bit longer, to be fair. 4-hour time frame right here does appear to try to be setting in a higher low somewhere around about 94 cents. So I suppose I'd be looking for a little bit of a short-term drop if you do lose 94 cents, somewhere down around about 87 to 88. Still like my higher lows right around there. Again, this move is being done on volume, so I suspect that it probably does hold. Just would like to see it actually close above about $1.20, and then this thing can fucking run, man. I mean, dear Lord. I mean, technically speaking, you'd be looking somewhere right around about $1.80 to $1.90, but I don't think that things would stop there. The next like major long-term macro level would be, I'm not going to say it, it's too much right now. It's too much, and I don't want to beat the hopium drums for the time being, but it is rather interesting. Oh dear God, it is very interesting actually. Look at where these levels line up with on the fibs. You don't want to break out of this region right here again. $1.20, $1.21 on a daily. All right, looking at a next targeted region of 180. I don't think this one's going to matter too much, but this one right here is directly in line. $2.90 to $3 or so. Look really fucking good, man. Powerful super. Powerful super. I'll just leave that right there, man. I got some blueberries this morning. I'm really excited about that. Jason Pizzino says, drug dealer Sonny's. Nice. That's exactly right, man. What would you like? You want some more hopium? I got your fucking hopium right here, baby. Open up those veins. We're going directly inside. Mr. D. Hey, good morning to you, man. Okay, sub Krown entry AXS at 142, still prime for $200. Depends what time frame we're on, obviously, but let's see where it's at. I expect that this one's doing well if the rest of the market is. Still isn't broken out officially to me just yet, but this is still really good. You entered 142, so you bought resistance. That could have maybe been done a little bit better, but that's okay. Do you suppose? Just be aware of where your risk management is, man, because this one does lose its structure below about $1.25, so it's kind of a lot of risk. That is why I do not like buying at resistance or selling at support, because like, where does it make sense to manage risk at? Well, it's like I don't know. I don't fucking know. Well, I mean, obviously I do know. I mean, it'd be at the next major area, but it's just so far away. It doesn't really help. It's not a good setup. That's the problem with it. Anyways, so what time frame were you on? Okay, yeah, you are talking about long term. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Weekly looks really good, man. I mean, there's no real reason to be bearish on this. Again, above about, let's call it just 120. Long term, do I think that it's going to reach towards $200? Yeah, on a break of about 145, especially on a weekly, even on a daily, probably does it as well. Probably does set in the tone for the next couple months. And Bitcoin, girthy green dildos, again, they're growing everywhere. Holy shit. It's like every goddamn second that I look, it's even girthier. And now it is. There it is, a bullish engulfing dildo in my face yet again. Holy fucking moly. What is that? Another higher low? It can't be true. No, the 12-hour, the wick below the prior range lows and bring it right back up. It must be a stop hunt. And now all of these poor aggressive shorts are getting squeezed. No, say it ain't so. So much fucking death and destruction. So much blood in my face, but it hasn't even really begun, my friends. Oh, it hasn't even begun. I tell you where it begins. Begins back again above 63,500. Oh, it's all over after that. Sorry. Just kidding, by the way. Okay. Well, I'm not kidding that much, but getting back above 635 is going to look really, really good. Someone's got to be having fun during all this shit, man. I'm the only one awake right now. What's up, Rolando? Trias USD. Sure, man. Right on this one. Trias. Pretty good. Oh, wow. Yeah, another one that's just following. Let's see what time frames you're looking at, sir. No time frames given. Oh, dear Lord. Probably looking for this one to extend back up towards your prior May highs at like 23 to $24 or so. Invalidation below your last daily spike low at 1669. Great number right there as well. If that does happen, I'm looking for a move towards 14.5. But I don't know what time frame you're on right now, but this one's trending on just about every time frame that I've looked. It's good. Very, very good. Ricky, what's up, man? If you can get it in .USD weekly monthly, sure. Symbol D. The Department of Transportation is here and ready. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I like it. Oh, I really like it. Let's take all this off. Here we have polka dot symbol DOT versus the dollar. We have another consolidation right at the pretty much all-time highs here. And I would remain with just overall bullishness, especially as long as you're holding that $40.50 pivot, which I believe was our invalidation the last time that we looked at this one. And so far, so good. Tested into it a few times. That's completely fine. No closures below. Very, very nice. Looking at the daily right here, something is speaking volumes right now, and it's volatility being on the floor. So expansion is the name of the game off of this mean reverting indicator. I mean, any sort of a daily move back above. Let me just get rid of this. We need just one trend line here and one trend line to rule them all. Any sort of a daily close back above 45, or 45.5. I'd even say 45 in this case. I'd be looking for big bad moves to the upside. Now, of course, this will be invalidated again. Same area as before, actually, below about $40 or so. Below $40, I do look for a corrective phase down to about $36, $37. Until that happens, though, the trend is your friend, and the 4-hour is actually setting another higher low right here. I would be looking for short-term moves back towards 44.5, maybe even 45. And that's going to set up the daily for a good posturing. Weekly had a decent closure, just a bunch of dojis at the top. So far, so good. Monthly, phenomenal closure as well. I will go out on a limb here and say this one very likely makes new all-time highs this month, at latest December. We'd still like to see the top side of this area broken. And again, be aware of the invalidation because nothing is 100% guaranteed. But curious to see if daily and weekly turned up over here because that would look even better. Well, hourly's turning up, and daily will turn back up above $43, which is currently about a quarter above right now. So good. Weekly will also, or is just up as long as above 38.5, or sorry, 30, basically 39. Cross not possible. Oh well. Either which way, all time frames looking pretty damn good here. So I do quite like this one. And should we go with some long-term targets perhaps as well? I suppose we could do that on something like this. It does have a pretty well-defined structure here. So let's do it. Let me go to a weekly actually. There we go. Okay, do something like this. Boom, right there. Yeah, a break of that topside area. And I would be looking for moves up around 60 to $80 overall. I'd be looking for big consolidation between about 75 and 60 or so, but long term, this is, dare I say, looking really good. Really, really good. So hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for dot. Nice. Let's see. Matic, we already got that one. Gemini. We could do bad instead, I suppose. Cool. All right. Let's see. Looks like a breakout to me, man. Did close above the last weekly high right here. Looks like, yeah, it did. It's very wicky though, so overall very, very good though. Weekly, if you're specifically looking at this, I'm looking for another move back up towards 120 and probably does just retest your May highs. Long term, this is obviously a good setup. It's just oh, you are looking at a monthly as well. All right. Yeah, monthly I do like as well. I wouldn't mind a move intra-month down to like 90 cents. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it did happen, that would be an opportunity. Long term, this is well, what do we have here? We have a high, we have a low, we have a higher high, we have a higher low, and I suspect that we will probably continue that trend. Just be aware of the invalidations, which I did not go over yet. That would be below about 85 cents in this case, or let's just say 80 cents even. I mean, this one fucking travels massively. Chess Champion 94 says, Jazz my USD. How about you wag me USD? How about that, sir? Jazz me? Oh, it's a thing. Okay, it is a thing. All right, that's a questionable name, but let's hold off on judgments just yet. I've definitely held my breath many times in the past and been wrong about just judging off the name, but I'm not a big fan of this chart. However, short term, does it make a move up to like 16.5 or so? Probably yes. Let's see what time frames you're looking at. Okay, so that would be more actually long term because I'm on a weekly right now. Short term, 4 hour is trending right now as well. This one is actually looking good. So there would be an invalidation on this one, very easily put below about what is this, 11 cents on a 4 hour. Until then, this one's actually looking like it's probably gonna try for a move today. This is good. It's good. I just want to see it break above about what was it, 12.5, and then probably looking for that next leg up towards 16 or so, and then come back to it after that. A little bit above 16 in this case. If it starts to actually close above 16 on a weekly specifically, then this thing probably goes for a run, but I don't trust this selling over here. Hopefully that's helpful, sir. Dr. Pill. Dr. Pill, hello. Good to meet you, sir. Elon USD. I want to gamble my mana gains. Well, you said it, not me, man. So I'm not here to be your dad. I'm not here to be your dad, but you can probably guess what I would say. Wow, what the actual fuck is this thing? Oh my god, man. These coins must be stopped. I don't. This is probably gonna go from here. Holy shit. All right. We do have a range going on. However, as long as you're above range lows, this one is implied to be bullish. Above 234 on an hourly close, I look for this one to retest per all-time highs and probably make new all-time highs. Below 166, this one gets sent back down to the fucking depths of hell. But is this one really gonna make new highs from here? Holy shit. I do think that this one actually probably does make one more run above here. Wow. I'd get phenomenally bearish on this thing below 166, and I'm talking like back down towards 82. Like literally a 50% drop over time. But really not much history to be going off of here, man. But short term up, yeah. I have to respect the higher lows. Let the trend be your friend. Bat, we got that one, so we're good. What's up, Oleg? Thanks, man. H-bar, daily, and weekly, sure. How many videos I got right now? Maybe we record this one because this one's been rather popular as of recently. Maybe I even take another sippy sip of this this ginger-laden tea. Got in my mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, no. 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's fine. Um, hmm. I like this chart a lot. Record it? Should we not record it? Fuck it. Here we have Haderpa hash graph symbol HBAR versus the dollar. Still really liking this setup over here. Set in a few more higher lows since we last spoke about it. I believe this was over the weekend perhaps. Invalidation has not been hit. Invalidation would be below about 35 cents on inherent bullishness on this one. I do think that this one's nearing maturity here, though, because volatility is expanding off the lows and we're actually above the moving average. So last time we looked at it, it was not. And we said, hey, it probably does fill out the range a little bit more. I believe that's what we've gotten this far. Yes, indeed. Now, I do think that this week is probably going to be the week of resolution. Resolution would be above the 1618 right here at just below 41 cents on a daily closure. And would be looking for this one to work its way back up towards your September highs at about 48 to 50 cents or so. Long term on a break of there, like now we're talking months away, most likely, perhaps 55 to maybe even 65 cents long term. I mean, this is actually really, really good right here. There is a measure move to be made off this as well on the short term formation, this any triangle. Yeah, looking at about 48 to 50 cents or so. Of course, I should talk about invalidation below about 35 cents on a daily closure. I'm looking for this one to fall apart down to 28 to 30 cents or so, but don't necessarily think that that's what's happening right here. This one actually a rather good setup, dare I say. Cool. There you go for HBAR. Nice. Fuckro. Hello, Fuckro. Sup, Laserheads. What's up, man? Thank you for Friday's analysis of Luna. No problem, man. I got a nice short from 43 to 44.3 to 41.8. Can you look Luna? We actually already looked at it. I'm going to post a video on it later today. I think last I looked at it, I was calling a bit of a higher low in the short-term time frame. So let's go down here. Still could easily come down to like $40 or so, but long term I like it, man. As long as you're above, what was it, like 36 or 37, I err on the upside. It's just short term is a bit more sideways here. If I am looking at the daily, I do think that it probably does trade up from here though. Again, I'll post a video on it a little bit later with more details, so hopefully that'll be helpful. Let's see. Joseph Driver says, good morning, Cheesewell, man. MTV, 4 hour and daily. Sure. TV. Oops. TV. Actually very confusing here in Finland because they have a TV channel called MTV as well, and it's not the same MTV that you know if you're from America. It's MTV3. Yeah, it's really, really weird too. This is really good. Really fucking good right here. Setting in a higher low, it looks like on yesterday's daily. I'm looking for this one to trade back up towards 2.5 cents, probably even a little bit more than that towards your prior highs late October. Full hour, if we go down to there, same thing. I like this as another higher low, 20 cents. So that is an invalidation condition below there. Looking for moves back down to your prior range, somewhere like in the mid-teens or so. But short term, I think you're setting a higher low right here. I think trades back up towards 2.4, 2.5 region, and then continues on maybe later this week or so. This is, I mean, a lot of these charts are very clean today, very fucking clean and very good. I mean, this is first respect when you see it kind of rally and hold its lows and constructively make new highs. I mean, that's good. Nav says, Mana, we already did that one and I recorded on it, so we will post it later. But I think I think short term I was looking at a bit more of a sideways move, and then long term probably continuation. But yeah, I'll post a much more in-depth video a little bit later. Mr. Dr. Roxo says Harmony 1 daily and monthly. Okay, so no. Oh wow, yeah, this one did make a move. Or no, hold on, when did we look at it last? Friday. That was over here. Yeah, still holding the range overall though. Take this off for a second. Weekly has new all-time closing highs. I'm sure people are calling this a shooting star dildo. I don't think that's actionable until you actually close back down below about 27.5 cents. Yeah, let's record this one. Here we have Harmony symbol ONE versus the dollar, and I believe we have a new all-time high on a weekly closing basis. So I'm sure that a lot of people are going to call this a shooting star dildo. Technically it is. However, I do not look at these as actionable as long as you are closing daily dildos above about 27.5 cents. Below there, yeah, look for a correction back down to your prior range lows at about 22 cents or so. Until that happens, this is, well, let the trend be your friend in this case. And I'm not getting actually too much from this chart right here, but let's see. 4 hour. 4 hours seems to be putting in a little bit of a local low right now, so I would be looking at this as a bit of a range. Let's actually adjust this for this time frame. So we can do one right there and basically one right here as well. So I would be looking for short-term, probably back up towards, 32, 33 cents or so. I would call a 4-hour short-term breakout towards the prior range highs above your 34.25 cent high right here. Not, too much of an edge on a trade like that, but overall momentum also is pointing up yet again. And, I would still hold off on getting like super excited about this thing as long as you're below about 36.5 on a daily. However, if you can't take that out to the upside, I mean, I do look for the next monthly targets to get hit after that. The monthly is obviously bullish right here. I mean, this one is literally within the process of a trend continuation move over the next couple of months, it looks like. I mean, here's your low, here's your high, higher low, higher low again, and we just closed on new high, so it must be another higher high. Trend continuation is the name of the game, so where would I be looking towards? On a breakout of the top side resistance, probably looking at about 43.25. Maybe over the next week after that happens, and then long term, and this thing can run quite a fair bit, so I'm going to hold off on those numbers over there because they're a little bit more moon boyish, which I think I'll hold off on for now, but you can look at them yourself and they are, I suspect, rather impressive. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for one. Sir, nobody asked Solana. Nobody asked for Solana. How dare they? All right, Jack, we can go look at Solana. Very nice here, man. Solana always so hot. Okay, now how many videos do I have now? Maybe I have too many. Do we have enough for Solana? I think we have just enough for Solana, but this is going to be the last recorded one for today. All right. Oh, it's gorgeous. Here we have Solana, symbol SOL versus the dollar, and it's oh so gorgeous right here. We've tested into the bottom side of our range multiple times. Looks like coming into the end of last week, and then once again yesterday over the weekend. All have done this, just put in another higher low, and this is coming in yet again on declining volatility. So trend continuation still the name of the game here, at least in the way that I look at things, and still looking at the measure move somewhere right around about 235 to 237, very likely to get hit. We could pull an extension on this one as well, just to see if there's anything super interesting above there. And yes, actually, if Bitcoin, no, Solana can actually clear above there on a daily closure, especially. Those I'm looking towards 300 plus with stops along the way. Obviously, it's not going to be like a straight shot there, but maybe months down the road. 4-hour time frame, another higher low right here, popping back up to the so short term, looking for another move back up somewhere around about 215, maybe 220 or so. This one looks good, man. This one looks really good. Solana consistently has one of the more constructive and better charts across cryptocurrency land. 4-hour Stokes up daily, freshly crossing up, and also playing out this trend line right here. Of course, I already have it in there. So that was from last week, actually. 193.5 going to be the magical number on that one, and weekly freshly up above 165. And of course, the weekly, or actually the monthly, has new all-time high closing highs. So I am looking for new highs in November, probably even December as well. This is good. It's really good. Should talk about it in validation. It's the same thing as last week, below about 180 on a daily. I'd be looking for another correction back down to your prior range lows at like 155 or so, or maybe even as much as 150, but good. It's really fucking good, man. So hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Solana. Hex Outlaw, there he is. Hey, hope you're well as well, man. Can you please take a look at Hex? I can. You nailed the top and bottom like a gangster derp, daily and weekly. I appreciate you. Thanks, man. All right, I gotta preface this whole conversation. Don't fucking hate me, Hex people. Please don't hate me. Well, I think you actually do have a local low in there now. Hey, Prad Pitt, please understand, man. We have to work through these in order. And just because like you send in a super chat, which I appreciate, of course, understand it takes some time to get there. And you are like near the bottom right now, and there's still like a bunch of people above you. So please understand that, my friend, because no one's trying to, spit in your face or anything. And all of the past prior streams, we have done the exact same thing. We have answered your super chats, but it has to come in order, man. It has to come in fucking order. Anyways, hopefully that's done in a respectful way. Anyways, Hex over here. All right, so we are getting our bounce up for 20 cents. I do think that it will bounce up higher than here, but heavily bearish as long as you're below about 34 cents, technically speaking. I mean, shit, if I look at the weekly, I don't even think it's gonna get up there, man, to be honest with you. I don't mean to like laugh at anyone's woes, but even getting back above about 32 cents, I think it's going to be trouble. Long term, this one's very likely to find its way back down towards 14, 15 cents. And personally speaking, I don't think it's going to stop there. This is parabolic blow off top, and that's really not good. Really not good right there. So, short term, Here's what I'd say. I do think that you will have a nice short-term move if you can start to close 4-hour dildos back up about 26 cent. I'll look for another move back up around that 31 cent region, but I play this one heavily bearish on a weekly. Not that I play this one at all. As long as you're closing weeklies below about 31.5 cent, I wouldn't even wait for 34 cent. I mean, 31.5 cent is going to be a bigger level right there. Until then, short term, little bit of bounciness, perhaps. Back above here, I would extend that run a little bit more, but yeah, really not good. 5 days more bouncy though. I mean, there is some hopium here, yeah. Just long term, I do think that this one's done. I think at best this one's done for a very long time. At worst, I mean, this one comes back down to like 10 to 15 cents or so, maybe even more over time too. But short term bouncy, I do think it's going to bounce here. Yeah, very likely bounces here. Have to say long term bearishness, like heavily bearish long term, as long as you're below 34 cents, and even on a weekly, like 31 cents would be rather nice if it does get back above there, man. Hopefully that's helpful though. Minarchist for freedom. All right. I don't know what that is. Dude, revolutionary crypto that will burn other cryptos called disco burn. Oh, gee. Okay. This is a marketing thing. All right. Thank you very much. All right. It's Minarchist for freedom. He's just trying to pump his disco burn token. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, if he wants to pay for that, that's fine. But I can't in good faith like say that statement out loud because I don't know if it's true. And in general, 90% of altcoins are just garbage. So the probabilities are, at least in my opinion, might not be the best. Anyways, now Singh says mana does a bullish channel get negated by the Sunny Triangle. I don't really care what formation you call it. What matters most is which way it actually breaks in trend. Again, we went over mana earlier. I don't even know if there's a descending. I don't think that there's a descending triangle in this. This is not a descending triangle for one. It's not a descending triangle. It's also not a bullish channel as well. It's setting a higher low right here. It's very likely going to work its way back up towards 340 to 360 or so. But yeah, this one actually probably even just put in a low right there. It's actually pretty damn good. Anyways, I will put in a more a more in-depth video a little bit later today. It is good though. Dane D says Floki. All right, Floki. Okay. Oh, it is on TradingView. All right, it's on Poloniex actually too. That's interesting. 1 to 4 hour. Okay. A little bit of a short-term range, but overall good. I mean, obviously, again, the trend is your friend here. Bullish as long as you're above about basically 20,000. Hourly, same thing. Probably short-term plays to the downside, maybe like 24,500 or so. Break below then, I'm looking for another move down to like 20,000 or so. But I'm not like bearish on it long-term, as long as you're especially above about 16.5 right here. That's the big one for me. Until then, I mean, it is kind of been a liquid shitcoin, but probably plays within that range and, does a resolve to the upside. Probably going to be easier to just watch the rest of the market. Matt C wants to look at Theta USD. Okay. All right. And what do we have here? 4-hour daily, weekly. Same sort of setup that we sent on a bunch of other ones as well. I would redo that. Well, should we just do this for a weekly? Yeah, weekly is going to get it about right there. If I could actually get my ruler out, that would be good. Where did I get excited about this one? Back above about 816, looking for big moves back up to 11. Over time, that's a weekly. Invalidation on bullishness is below about $6.50. I imagine same thing on a daily. Yep, same thing on a daily right here as well. 4 hour looks to me like another higher low. I think it's going to trade sideways and up from here actually. 4 hour, it gets invalidated below about 690, basically the current low right now, and then I'll be looking for that move down. Gabber says, can you check out AVAX for daily weekly? Sure. AX. Yeah. Daily weekly, huh? Daily weekly. Again, really good consolidation here at the highs. Never gonna hate that, but this one taking a little bit of a rest while the rest of the market kind of leads, I suppose. Now I'm going to, well, actually this is about right anyways. Hold on, let's just get rid of this for right now. It's just not relevant. Short-term time frames, just trading sideways here still, but I do like it. There's nothing like bad about this chart. As long as you're especially above about 57.5 bucks on a daily. I mean, it's just another uptrend, man. But I would hold off on getting excited about like another, run to, in this case, new all-time highs, very likely, until you get back above about 71 bucks on a daily. Back above there, can we forecast some targets? Perhaps yes. Some looking probably somewhere around $80, and then probably gets its free ride to $100 over like the next month after that or so. I mean, this is very, very good right here. It's just, I don't think it's ready at like this moment. You know, look at volatility right here. It's still kind of hey, come on, let me, god damn it. There we go. Volatility is still kind of contracting. I want to see that maintain above the moving average and then a break above there. That would look really, really good, and that's kind of where I get a lot more excited about it. Until then, just a little bit more sideways, but overall very, very good. Cool. Akshay Jadhoff says FTM general overview for today. Okay, so FTM is let me just see how many videos I got over here as well. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Jesus Christ, man, 9? What the hell? All right, we'll save this one for tomorrow then. Short term, it does seem like we've gotten our ranges once again. And to address the person who asked about support and resistance as well before, like again, this is the spike wick that I'm looking for right here to kind of judge if the range is going to break or not to the downside with like an actionable move. If it does break to the downside, I'm looking for, I suppose, a relatively big move back down to your prior range lows, like $2 or at minimum 220, but probably more like $2. For right now, short term, just playing within this range. And remember, this one had a major move last week, so I think at best this one trades sideways for a while. You know, maybe resolves itself coming into later this month or so. I'd get excited for the short-term time frames back up about 308. And short-term, I do think it's going to trade up a little bit more from here, somewhere around about $3 or so. It's just, I don't think it's going to be super interesting for the short-term. And again, I look at the weekly, and what the fuck? Look at that chart, man. That is just insanity. Dear Lord. Yeah, monthly is still bullish. Any sort of move down to $2 would be, in my opinion, a gift. And daily is setting another higher low right here. So yeah, short-term time frames looking for some upside. Daily probably as well. I'm probably looking for another move, dare I say, to $3 and a break above there. I guess trend again, you know, just continuation here. Jesus, man, this thing just doesn't want to quit. Powerful FTM. Someone knows something that we do not, or at least someone knows something that I do not, because that thing is having aggressive buying. D&D says block KuCoin TA. I think we already did that one. We already did that one, actually. Yeah, Blocktopia. Yeah. Yeah. What time frame are we looking at? No time frames given. Yeah, I remember we looked at this one earlier. It's good. It's good. I mean, it's just flagging out for another move. It looks like, man. It looks like continuation from here. I look for this one to trade sideways and up from here, especially as long as you're above about 12.5 cents on an hourly. Very, very good. Very, very good. Among some of the better charts we've seen today, actually, but not much history here to really be going off of. So don't know what else to say. Below about, what was it? 12.5? Technically 12 cents probably where I'd be actually looking at this one for in terms of structure, but below there I would be looking for another move down to like 8 to 9 cents or so. Until then, sideways is very, very good here for the Boolaws. Something like this short term, if you want to be a little more conservative, something like this, then I do think that it's overall good though. Much love from Texas. Fuck yeah, man. That is probably one of the better places in the US right now. BBKK says, I'm 10 IQ bullish, sir. All right, I don't know what that means. Can you take a look at Sol USD? We already got that one, so I think we're good there, and it's been recorded, I think, as well. Yeah, I think we're good. There he is, Brad Pitt. All right, man, so we finally got to you. If he's still here, though. Probably left. Jesus Christ, man. Barn Bridge overview. I'm thinking of buying a few. Well, this sounds like it's probably not on trading. Oh, it is on TradingView. That's kind of a surprise. Barn Bridge. Sounds legit. I mean, it's probably going to work its way up from here, man. It's very likely it'll work its way up to like 33.5 to $34 and probably is going to break out. I mean, everything in this market kind of is. There is an invalidation below about 26.5 on a daily. Until then, this one's probably trading sideways and up, and big breakouts above about $34 long term. But I would wait until that actually happens before talking about further targets. Until then, sideways and up, probably back up towards your prior range highs. Looking decent there. Cool. All right. Hey, happy Halloween to you as well, Mr. Eric Perkins. New Wednesday. Yeah. FTM daytime, week time. Yep, we got that one just now, so I think good. J Rose is persistence XPRT. Okay. XRT. Oh, all right. Man, too many XRP derivatives. Not great. In a sea of mostly good charts that we've seen today, this one is certainly the, I wouldn't say least, but it's not that impressive. In fact, if anything, the short-term timeframes look like a breakdown. I don't know what timeframes you're wanting to look at, sir, but I do not. I mean, if I had my pick of the charts today, this would not be it. In fact, this just looks like a lower high to me below about, what is it, $9.50 or so. That is fucking nasty, man. That is super nasty. You know, again, it's always a weird thing. It's like if you're going to be bearish on an altcoin when the rest of the market is mostly looking good, I would say break out above about 970 on a daily. That's where things get a lot more instant again. Until then, I dare I say this one looks like another lower high and probably works its way sideways and down from here, maybe down to like $8. But I don't feel too confident on this chart, to be honest with you. And it really doesn't seem like it trades all that much, man. Relatively new as well. So unfortunately, I don't think I have a really good opinion on this one, honestly. Hey, it's all good, Nav. It's all good, man. No need to apologize, sir. Just a misunderstanding. That's all, man. Rapture says, hey, man, what's up? Can you check out TLM? TLM, all right. New one. TLM. Okay, it's real. Yeah, another chart that's not as mature as a lot of the other ones and did get beat to absolute shit in April and May. Wow. Wouldn't get too excited about it as long as you're below about 36 cents. Is it going to work its way up there? Probably, just because the rest of the market is as well. Let's see. Where did I invalidate this one on short-term bullishness? Let's go down to a 4-hour actually. I'd invalidate it below about 21 cents. Until then, this actually looks like another higher low to me right here and probably does trade back up short-term to like 26 cents or so. Back above this region right here, that's where things get a lot interesting and probably looking at a move towards, I don't know, what is this? Anywhere between about 65 and 80 cents long-term. Will look good. Cool. All right. Osley says, Bull Jesus, take the wheel. Bull Jesus is at the wheel right now, my friend. Just checking on Bitcoin. Uh-oh, he's giving up some of the move, but that's okay. Still a pretty damn good move off the lows right there. Powerful blue box of peace and prosperity. Once again, showing it the ways. Brew City Gardener says, hey, Krown, what's up, man? Been a sub since 2018. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever seen you comment once ever, man. So massive, well, good to meet you, sir. How about that? I would like to get your take on Theta Fuel. Okay, so T Fuel. All right, so this is a part of the Theta ecosystem, I'm guessing. And you are asking on the daily and weekly, it looks like it held up well since June and has been accumulating ever since. Okay. What? Yeah, we did do Trios. Yep. Yeah, I agree with you. It is accumulating here, and it's actually looking very mature here too. I agree with you strongly, man. And this is a really fucking good one too, man. Holy shit. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying, man. I see what you're saying. Volatility starting to increase on that last higher low right there. Very good. Daily Jewel's a little bit more short-term sideways, but that's okay. 4-hour time frame looks to me like it's going to try to set in a higher low somewhere right around about 34 cents. On any sort of a break of that, I'm probably looking towards about 33 cents, but I would not invalidate any sort of medium, long-term, or even macro bullishness on this one, especially as long as you're above like 26.5 cents, man. This is very good here. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. This one's already kind of tested into your major movement average right there. It's actually about to flip into a long signal for myself on a weekly time frame. This is actually, man, I wonder if Night King is here right now. Night King, if you're here right now, this is what I'm talking about for the setup. Like, that's it. That's fucking it, man. Especially alongside momentum also just pointing up. Yeah, I really like this actually, man. I would like to see a weekly close above about 38 cents, technically speaking, and then I'd be looking for pretty much a retest of your highs. And I mean, at this point, this one's probably ready to like actually break long term. I guess I do already have an extension right here, but draw a new one just to see. Yep, you know, a break of this region right here, probably looking at a move towards like 60 to 70 cents. Do I think that thing stopped there long term? Probably not, especially after what is this? Almost a wow. This one's been consolidating for more than half a year now. It's going on like 7-8 months here. So this one's building up a humongous cause. Probably long term looking somewhere north of like $1 or so. Really, really good though, man. Really, really good. Cool. And nice one for bringing up a chart like that. What's up, CCAS? Top of the morning to you as well, sir. CRV. Okay, curve. So this is a reward, I believe. See? Okay, cool. Good. Very. Oh wow. Yeah, this one's got the breakout. I remember we looked at this one last week and we were saying that it was looking good. This one's looking even better this week. I'm looking for this one to very likely retest 575 over the next week or two. Daily, I would invalidate below about 3.25. I don't think that's what's happening, but that would be my invalidation. This is looking really good on all higher term timeframes. I do think that this one is not just going to like retest $6 highs, but probably probably make majorly new highs on this next run. This is good. It's very, very good. 5-day. Are we short-term corrective? Maybe. Nope. Short-term looks like another higher low right here. Probably moving back up to about 450, maybe 455. Yeah, man, I like this one. I like this one. Whatever it is, it's good. It's very good. All right, we've already done Matic, Mr. Nicholas. Matic. Nightman, I am Nightman. Who's Dayman over here? Hey, Ronnie, what's up, man? Good morning to you as well, sir. Fun stuff as always. Indeed, Mr. Moses. I think, how is the like ratio so high? That's awesome. Yeah, man, that is fucking insane. I want to say a massive thank you. Like, that is just getting ridiculous, but in a good way. Like, what do you even make of that? That's insanity, man. I think they're confusing the CRV ticker with CBC. Perhaps you can let me know if that's what you actually meant, but either which way, I mean, CRV pretty damn good. What's up, Monkey Gains? There he is. Z-Felt is still gay for TA. I don't know if Z-Felt is here right now, but yeah, man, he is the homie. He's a great guy. Really enjoy his presence, man. We did not do Bitcoin dominance, actually. That would be a cool one to check out, and then maybe send this video. Send the video, huh? Monthly, I do think that this is going to be the next major low right here. I think that this one's working its way back up towards upper 40s probably this month, and over the next 2 to 3 months, I think it's going to be well above 50 actually. I mean, I'm sure that there's even some bullish divergence coming off those lows as well. Let's actually go check it out over here. Not that I think oscillators really work on this, but yeah, there would be a very slight amount between this point and this point. Yeah. I do think that Bitcoin essentially continuing on this month and next month with new highs is going to wreck a lot of altcoins, but fair enough. All right, Mr. Roxco, we can look at VET, symbol VET. Maybe I record this one as well, and we'll end on this one. And Pro Safe Moon says Moon Man. Maybe Safe Moon. I think that one's like a known kind of scam. If it has safe in its name, probably not safe. Anyways, let's do a fresh chart right here. Here we have V chain symbol VET versus the dollar. And this setup is starting to look really mature right here. Starting to reapproach the range highs yet again at about 15.5 cents or so. I do like the rising bottoms on the macro scale right here as well. And I would be looking for resolution of this one probably, I think at latest at the end of this month, maybe even sooner rather than later. However, short term, I don't think it's ready just yet. Volatility is still turning down right here. Now it is obviously, massively contracted, but really want to see it get above the moving average and sustain above the moving average on that in order to be looking for an actual breakout out of the top side right here. That'd be confirmed above about 15.5 cents. And, we would have a measure move on this as well, being that it is an ascending triangle in this case. And that'd be pointed up pretty much around your prior May highs, which is 24 cents, it looks like. Now there would be an invalidation on the macro scale right here. That would be below about 9.5, 10 cents or so. Short term actually looking good right here as well. Seems to be setting another higher low, probably moving back up towards 14 cents or so perhaps. Invalidation below about 12.5 cents, looking for moves back down towards 11.5 or 11 even or so. Long term, weekly, same thing, good, just generally good. Weekly jewel, giving some upside curvature right there, a little bit of a signal. Monthly, again, very good as well, long term. If this one were to move back down to like 11 cents intra-month, I'd look at that as an opportunity, not financial advice, of course. And, on a breakout of the all-time high, or long term, where would I be looking for on this one? Well, 29 cents would be the major target, probably consolidates there for a while, and then, maybe months down the road, on a continuation drive, maybe like 50 to 60 cents or so. But that's very far away for right now. Until then, short term a bit more sideways it looks like, but overall good. And I think that's going to be a good one to end on today as well. All right, my voice is wrecked. My voice is very much wrecked right now. I'm going to be signing off. Oh, wait, what? All right, Elsa's got a little surprise apparently. What is this? Hey, what's up, Anonymous? Oh, we have a cheerleader in the house right now. Would you? What are you doing? The fucking! Wow! Yay! Go Bitcoin! Wow, I feel like a fucking massive moron now. Jesus Christ! I've never been more embarrassed in my life. The raspy lesbian voice is getting really nasty right now. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, my voice is cash by now, but yeah, Bitcoin looking good here. Again, as long as above $6,000, I do look at this as your next sort of major low, or sorry, short-term, medium-term time frame low. All higher-term time frames, as we discussed earlier this stream, pretty damn good. With that said, I'm gonna be signing off now. Take care, and hope to see you soon. Until next time.
Christmas dildos moving up and down. They'll call him Crypto Krown. You've got to TA to be free. Learn how to surf in the deep red sea. Trendlines, average values, RSI. Lift ocean coins to the sky. From distributor into XRP. Oh, bear Jesus, set us free. Crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down. Cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down. Cause it's the final countdown. Open has the mastermind. Dive into Crypto Cave and let's go for a ride. The whales are coming very soon, very soon. Up to the moon in the afternoon. Crypto what? Crypto Krown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers back.